for Wednesday, January 26th of 2022 at 5:1 p.m., I guess. Would you all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, thank you and good evening. Welcome all. Mr. Zerlo, would you please conduct a roll call?
Mr. Castine.
Present.
Mr. Bazzaio.
Here.
Mr. Hall. Here. Mr. Henry.
Here.
Mr. Hughes.
Here.
Mr. Kretzer. Here. Mr. Perrier.
Here.
Mr. Potiker.
Here.
Mr. Timmons. Here. And Ms. Waldron is asked to be excused this evening.
Very good, thank you. All legislators have received a copy of the stenographer's minutes of the January 12th, 2022 regular session. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Motion by legislator Kretzer, second by legislator Hughes. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I'll now recognize anybody in the audience who wishes to share their thoughts and concerns with the legislature. Please raise your hand if you wish to be recognized. State your name and address for the record, and in accordance with the rules of order, all speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. Is there anybody that wishes to speak in public at this time? No one. Okay. We'll move right along. Mr. Zerlo will now go to committee reports. Call upon the chairperson of each committee in alphabetical order by committee, starting with Buildings and Grounds and Mr. Legislator Bazzaio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Buildings and Grounds Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, at 4:30 p.m. That's the end of the report.
Children and Family Services, Legislator Potiker.
Thank you, Chairman. The Children and Family Services Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Children and Family Services Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, February 1st at 5:15 p.m. End of report.
Thank you. Economic Development, County Operations, I believe you have it, Mr. Zerlo.
Yes, sir. On behalf of Legislator Waldron, the Economic Development and County Operations Committee has not met since the last regular session. The committee was in fact pulled on resolution number 40, which is on this evening's agenda. And the next Economic Development County Ops meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, February 9 at 4 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. Finance Committee, Legislator Timmons.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Finance Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, February 2nd at 5:15 p.m. End of report.
Health Committee, Legislator Hughes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Health Committee has not met since our last regular session. We're fortunate to have Deb Tackett with us tonight, our interim Public Health Director, to present a brief COVID-19 update.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the update, our numbers are coming down a little bit, but we are still in a very high transmission, at a very high transmission rate. We have had a total of 14,000 cases in Clayton County since the beginning of the pandemic, and with 69 deaths. Currently, our positivity rate over the last 7-day average is 18.6%. We want it to be down around 5. So you can see we really are still in a high transmission rate. We had a number of positive cases on the 8th of January. It was 289. On the 23rd, it was down to 148. Seems to be going in the right direction. We have suspended our testing at Clinton County Health Department for the time being. We were testing those without insurance and did not have a primary care provider. However, Quadrant is here over at SUNY and they're providing the same service. It was costing us $50 per test, so we can save those dollars as long as they're over at SUNY. I don't have any time frame when and if they plan on leaving, but we do have a plan to ramp them back up if we need to. We're continuing with our clinics at Clinton Community College on Thursdays. The numbers there are also waning, so we're not getting as many. We were getting up to nearly 1,000 vaccinations on Thursdays over there with the help of the state staffing, but we haven't seen that recently, so we're watching that number. If it continues to drop to a volume where we can manage at the health department, we will then continue with our clinics on Thursdays at the health department. More to come on that. We're just watching the trend. We have also, I wanted to let you know that we are finishing up at the schools. We have been vaccinating everybody from 5 and older at the schools since January, earlier this month. We have given first, and we're finishing up our second doses for kids. All of those clinics were actually open to the public for those areas. We will be finished with all the second dose for our kiddos, the 5 to 11-year-old group, on the 16th of February. The only district that did not participate in that was Plattsburgh, but all the other districts participated. So we went to all the local school districts. In Clinton County, all those 18 and over that have received at least one dose, it's almost 78%, 77.9%. I looked at these numbers this morning. The age group 5 to 11 is 40.3%. Got to remember that age group, we had a lag. They weren't eligible for vaccination until just recently. And the great number is those 65 and over is 97.2% of those have received at least one dose. Any questions?
I know, but Deb and I spoke yesterday. I just think, it's very positive. I mean, that no pun intended. That the health department has done the second go around with all these school districts. That's something, and they did also make the decision to open up those clinics to the entire community in those areas. So it wasn't just the students and faculty; it was everybody. So I consider that a complete success.
Thank you.
No excuses for anybody that wasn't afforded an opportunity.
The other thing is, I forgot to mention, is we are cooperating with CVPH, and we are hosting a pod over there to help them get their staff vaccinated because of the new regulation that all healthcare workers have to be not only vaccinated with, but also have to be boosted by the 21st of February.
Okay.
Yes.
I do have a question. It's during this home health test. Obviously, people take the home health test. We're probably never going to know about half of them that tested positive.
Exactly.
Do we have any feel on how much that will impact us?
Well, it'll skew our numbers for sure because that data is not being collected anywhere. So I have no idea how many positive home tests there are out there. The only way, we are getting calls from people that have taken home tests and have gotten a positive result, and our direction to them is to go on the state website and print their isolation orders with the date of their positives, the date that they became symptomatic. If they're asymptomatic, that they got the positive test.
So
5 days out.
the answer probably is, as Deb said, no, it'll skew the numbers a little bit. There's probably more positivity out there than is in the numbers that are reported. But that's it. Hopefully that positive test, those people are going to do the right thing and remain in quarantine. So it's a tool that should help, although it does skew the numbers a little bit.
So if they're taking the test, they should be responsible enough.
Correct.
Why
Let's
not
hope.
taking the test if you're not going to
Let's
treat
hope.
responsibly?
Absolutely. And don't forget, you can order some for home, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Mr. Hughes?
The next health committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, February 2nd at 4:15. And report, sir.
Human Services, and Legislator Perrier.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Human Services Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Human Services Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, February 1st at 4:15. End of report.
Thank you. Personnel Committee, the Personnel Committee has not met since the last regular session. The next Personnel Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, February 7th, with time to be determined. Plattsburgh International Airport and Legislator Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Plattsburgh International Airport Committee met earlier this afternoon. Chris Craig, the airport director, was present to report on the electric vehicle charging station proposal, a tenant update, an airline update, and a customs update. Resolutions 41 through 51 have been placed on the agenda upon the recommendation of the committee. The next Plattsburgh International Airport Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, February 23rd at 4 p.m. I'd like to apologize for us running a little late tonight, and I'd like to apologize for having people stay outside. It was an executive session and couldn't do anything about it. End of report.
Thank you. Public Safety, Legislator Castine.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Public Safety Committee has not met since the last regular session. The committee was full with resolutions number 52 through 55 on the agenda. The next Public Safety Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, February 7th, with a time to be determined. End of report.
Thank you very much, sir. And Transportation, Legislator Kratzer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Transportation Committee has not met since the last regular session. The committee was full on resolutions 56 through 60 on the agenda, and the next Transportation Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, February 14th at 5:15 p.m., and that's the end of the report.
Thank you. We will go to Liaison Reports. I know everybody, many of you are new to your new liaison committee, so I recognize there may not be a lot to report on here. But Board of Health, Legislator Potter.
Thank you, no report.
Okay, thank you. Chamber of Commerce and Legislator Potter.
And there's no report.
It's 2 in a row now.
2 in a row.
Okay. Clinton Community College, Legislator Bazile.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I am tentatively scheduled to attend a Clinton Community College Board meeting on the 22nd of February.
Okay, thank you. Community Service Board, Legislator Castine.
No report, sir.
Cooperative Extension, Legislator Timmons.
Yes, we had our annual meeting last week for electing people and changes. We are still looking for somebody to replace Mary Friette. Mary is actually going to stay on for another month. Hopefully that they can pick a new person to replace her by the end of it. Matthew Douthout is now the board president. Matthew had been president before, had to leave being timed out. Henry Forrence was in that spot. Henry now has to leave and Matthew took back over. So we're in good hands.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Discipline review agreements, we have nothing, right? Thank you, Rob. The county,
Nothing other than, I believe it is, tomorrow, 27th, tomorrow, that there is an inter-county meeting, so, imagine we'll have a report at our next meeting.
okay. LC and LG Regional Planning Board, Legislator Presser.
No report.
Okay. Soil and Water, Legislator Perrier or Timmons.
Yes, we met last week and had election of officers there, and Sam Dyer is going to be our chairperson.
Okay.
Bruce Demick, the vice president, or vice chair. Rob Timmons is the treasurer.
Good choice there.
Pardon me?
That was a good choice there with Rob.
That's a good choice. He does a good job. He puts in extra time going there, travel all the way up there to sign checks and pay the bills. And the other 2 people on the committee are myself and Willie Giro. And T. Hager said that he expects a large amount of money, the grant that's coming in. So we're gonna wait and see what happens with that. End of report.
Very good, thank you very much. Workforce Development Board, Legislator Kretzer.
No report.
Very good. Staff members have any reports? Ms. Gallagher.
I would like to request an executive session at the end of the meeting to discuss settlement of litigation.
Okay. And Mr. Zerl.
Yeah, I got a few things, Chairman. I will participate in Ms. Keller's executive session items, as well as a pleasant reminder that we're trying to get the final order in for a legislative photo. If you are interested, please let this office know sooner than later. I have another copy of that form here, should anybody need one. On your desks is the invitation to the Association of Counties March Legislative Conference. For you to review, and if you're interested in attending that conference, please let our office know. There's also a light reminder that the state of the county, town, and city is scheduled for March 3rd. And that if you are interested in attending that, please let us know. We will register you and pay that registration for you, but we just need to know. We like to do everything all at once. Finally, W-2s are in your mailboxes. You all got paid for an entire year of work last year. Thank you very much. Back to rapid tests. We received an order of rapid tests in. We immediately are sharing those with the community. This round was split amongst congregate settings, fire and EMS, all the, where else did they go? All the county employees got one, Chamber of Commerce got some, and a massive amount back to the towns and villages and city, as we did with our first section. So as soon as we're getting them, we are pushing them out to the community. There are a few remaining that if you know of a need in your communities, please let me know, and we'll provide you those kits. But we're not, per instruction from the state of New York, we're not letting them sit in warehouses. We are getting them out to the community. That's all I have, sir.
Yes, sir. All county employees got it?
Correct.
Awesome. Thanks.
Anything else on that? Okay. We'll move on to the resolutions. Before voting on the resolutions, I want to note that the majority of the resolutions have been thoroughly discussed by the appropriate committees, and the legislature is taking action tonight based in large part on the recommendation of those committees. Mr. Gold, would you please read the titles of the resolutions to be acted upon?
Certainly. Resolution number 40, authorizing Clinton County to purchase 30 new Dominion Image Cast Evolution voting machines, Board of Elections.
Motion by legislator Timmons, second by legislator Conacher. Discussion?
Well, the Board of Elections must be very nervous. We have an audience here waiting on this resolution. But I just want to bring up a couple things. 30, and I believe 7 of those they are paying from a grant that the Board of Elections has received. As I mentioned to this body during our budget sessions, in their original budget request, they had the remaining 23 seeking funding from the tax levy, and we decided that that is an appropriate use of ARPA funding, one-time, long-term expense. So the additional 23 machines will be purchased using ARPA funding, as we previously discussed.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Carried.
You guys don't need to stay.
Yay. Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Yep, see you later.
Resolution number 41, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit bids for the rehabilitation of taxiway B and general aviation apron construction project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second legislator Hughes. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 42, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit bids to acquire friction testing vehicle equipment project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second legislator Perrier. Discussion?
Yeah, just for those that are not on airport, the previous resolution, this resolution, and a few others, these were all approved by the county's submission to the FAA under our capital improvement plan. So now this is the process of seeking bids, but new projects into 2022. In 2023, the federal government would pay 90%, state of New York 5%, and we'd be obligated to pay 5% of the project.
Any further? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 43, authorizing contract with Hoyle, Tanner and Associates for independent fee estimate services for the reconstruction of taxiway B, pavement and general aviation apron construction project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall. Second, legislator Timmons. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 44, authorizing change order number 1 and final with Luck Brothers Incorporated Environmental Mitigation Perimeter Fence and Access Road Removal Construction Project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 45, authorizing the updated airfield pavement conditions indices survey design project grant application, Plattsburgh International.
I always thought that was the upstate. I didn't realize it was, the federal was upstate.
No, we are updating the.
Anyway, motion, legislator Hall. Second, legislator Timmons. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Resolution number 46, authorizing the rehabilitation of runway 1735 lighting and reconstruction of airfield guidance signage, design project grant application, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 47, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit bids for solid runway taxiway de-icing agent, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall. Second, legislator Timmons. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 48, authorizing agreement with CNS Engineers Incorporated for the construction, observation, and administration services for the rehabilitation of taxiway A pavement and general aviation apron Phase 1 construction project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 49, authorizing various contracts for the year 2022, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 50, authorizing contract amendment with J. Hogan Refrigeration and Mechanical and K&L Plumbing and Heating, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall. Second, legislator Timmons. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Resolution number 51, authorizing contract with Cummins Incorporated, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Resolution number 52, authorizing payment of membership dues, public defender.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Resolution number 53, authorizing payment of membership dues, probation.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 54, authorizing Office of Victim Services grant application, District Attorney's Office, Child Advocacy Center.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Resolution number 55, authorizing payment of membership dues, District Attorney's Office, Child Advocacy Center.
Motion, legislator Castine. Second, legislator Perrier. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 56, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit bids for a used bucket truck with a 30-foot to 50-foot working height, Highway Department.
Motion, legislator Kretzer. Second, legislator Potiker. Discussion?
Just want to say, this resolution and the next resolution are for pieces of equipment that were included in the 2022 budget. This is now the process of seeking bids, now that the department knows they've got the money to do so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 57, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit bids for one cab chassis with dump body and snow plow, highway.
Motion, legislator Kretzer. Second, legislator Hughes. Discussion? Yes, sir.
Actually, Mike, just because we all know what's going on, what happens if these bids have been way higher because of the, what's up?
Well, it has happened. And my advice, we actually passed a resolution, I think, 2 weeks ago, for these two pieces of equipment. Now, just to remind everybody, the equipment, this equipment in the budget did not affect the tax levy. It was paid for by both CHIPS, capital money, as well as capital reserve money. So my recommendation to Carl would be to go through transportation and ask for more CHIPS to be allocated to the project, in which he does have available.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 58, authorizing payment of membership dues, highway.
Motion, legislator Kretzer. Second, legislator Brazil. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 59, authorizing the implementation and funding 100% of the cost of a transportation project of which qualified costs may be reimbursed from Bridge New York funds, Highway Department.
Motion, legislator Kretzer. Second, legislator Brazil. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And resolution number 60, authorizing an engineering services agreement with Barton and Judas DPC for concrete deck repairs for the Gatto Road Bridge over the Saranac River, bridge identification number 3335780 highway.
Motion, legislator Kretzer. Second, legislator Potiker. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Perrier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Other consent resolutions, right? Don't need 13.2. Does anyone have anything further to come before the legislature? Then I'd like to entertain a motion to enter into executive session. I have a motion by legislator Hughes, second by legislator Perrier. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We are now in executive session. We are back into regular session. I'd like a motion to,
I'll read the title.
oh, good, well.
Waive for duplicate.
Oh, yes, you were right again. Again, you're right.
Again, okay. I'd like to entertain a motion to waive rule 13.2. May I have a motion? Motion legislator Hughes, second by legislator Timmons. Whoever you are. Legislator Timmons. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Mr. Zerl.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, resolution number 61, authorizing settlement of claims against allergen defendants in the opioid class actions pending in regard opioid litigation case numbers put my glasses on for these. 400001 in 2017, 400008 2017, and 400016 2018. Legislature.
May I have a motion? A motion by legislator Hall, second by legislator Timmons. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Is there anything further to come before the legislature? I will take a motion to adjourn. Motion by legislator Hall, second by legislator Brazil. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We are adjourned. Thank you.